Alright, what is going on, people of the internet? Welcome back to the episode of Ark Max Speed, and this time we're looking at the Megaloceros, which is a mount that honestly does not get a lot of love. And I haven't given it any. I didn't even have one in my actual playthrough of Ark. I didn't really see much of a point in having one. I mean, there's things that can do what it does better. If you get the female version, you're pretty much saying, screw it, this is a mount I only am going to use for either moving around or carrying things, so a max speed build would actually be kind of handy with this, and what I'm doing here is I'm spawning different ones because the females have a, I think, 25% movement speed boost, and the males are stock movement speed, but they do have an attack function, which is used for collecting thatch, as opposed to the females, which can't harvest anything or attack anything, and they're really only good for running around and carrying things. So as you can see here, I've hopped onto the male Megaloceros, and I've got the female following me, and it doesn't really give a clear indication because obviously it's kind of tough when they're following creatures as they are here because it's a single player that I have, and maybe it would be more effective if I had another person here testing it with me, but for now that's pretty much all that we have to look at. So of course these two both have 120% movement speed base, however this is not in relation to the other, this is just their own stat. You can think of these two as completely separate mounts even though they are of the same species. So right now I'm on the female, just kind of running around. You can see that the male doesn't quite keep up with me. It's comparable, but you can see as here in the straight line, some distance is being put on. And of course, when you hop back onto the male one, you can kind of see that, well, it's just not quite as fast. Though it is good for collecting thatch. And one thing that kind of stands out about the Megaloceros is their weight is, it's okay. I mean, it's not spectacular, but we have a level 18 here, and its weight's at 220, which is pretty much the ideal traversing mount. Now that I've pumped movement speed into that, we have 297%, and it goes up by 3% per level, and it actually becomes, you know, pretty quick. At least the female version does. The male version is obviously going to be quite fast as well, but not quite near this speed. I will eventually hop onto the male version and test this out in a little bit of time, but for right now I'm on the female version, just sort of running around seeing, and it does actually auto-slow when you go around corners, so you'll have to keep that in mind if you wanted to do some testing on your own of that you're not going to be able to take corners at full-on sprint. It will actually slow you down, and it will make you go at a comparable to your sprinting speed, but more of a walk. So, of course, I'm going to do the same thing here, and it gets the same amount of boost for the male, and you can see it's definitely not as fast. You can kind of compare it when you can see one's following the other, but you can see first person, first hand there. That is not actually quite as fast. Both are pretty quick mounts, and you'll have no problem outrunning anything in the game. I have confidence saying that, and I would even go so far as to saying these things are probably faster than a max speed Sabertooth. But I don't know if I would recommend either of these. They kind of seem like mounts that don't serve too much of a purpose. Now, they are great mounts for if you just wanted to really get involved with that role-playing aspect of living out in the tundra out here, and you wanted to really feel like you were roughing it, and you were trying to just survive. These things are amazing mounts for that, because I would imagine they have quite good stamina, being that they are quadrupedal herbivores. That's pretty much only defense is running away from things, and they do have a jump mode, but their weight is pretty much that it doesn't need to be pumped, and it can carry anything that a player would need to carry. So normally as a character you would have about 250 weight, and a Megaloceros would have just pretty much the same of that, maybe a little bit more if you got a high level one. And that was your goal for your Megaloceros, that you wanted a personal riding around mount. Whereas something like the Gigantopithecus or the Carno, you would pump movement speed to have a kind of a scouting mount, kind of what the Terror Bird would be taking over later. This one you would be more looking to probably pump movement speed just to make it kind of a run around the map thing. It wouldn't be a hunter-gatherer type of thing, it would just be an adventure mount. But I think it's pretty much going to do from us. Thanks for watching. If you got suggestions for any future episodes, you can leave them in the comments. I don't know what we're probably going to do. I'm kind of torn between a trike or a parasaur, but I'm also looking into doing non-mountable creatures, so you can leave that in the comments. We'll see you in the next episode of Ark Max Speed. Thanks for watching. Peace.